DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as Mill Nikon. Say hello to our other Vixens. We've got Jen, the E-Juice Fairy. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, everybody.
We've got JJ, also known as Flavor Pro.
Good evening.
And we've got the lovely Rin Vapes. How you doing?
Hello.
How's everyone's weekend going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Oh, there goes the rain.
Just said, there goes the rain.
Yeah.
Pouring here too.
I love it.
It's supposed to be moving in over here, but
You
not yet.
weirdo.
She's a weirdo. They like the rain. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yep. So, anyone do anything fun this weekend?
I went bowling and I got a massage. I'm very sore.
Sounds very fun.
I'm very sore though. I feel like I'm hungover.
From bowling?
Probably from the massage. I get a deep tissue massage. When you do that, it like releases all the shit that's built up. And I haven't been since like October.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go bowling on top of it, which probably wasn't a good idea.
I bet your bowling balls are regular size, not Emily's size.
Yeah, no little balls.
No little balls. You got the big ones, don't you?
Big old heavy balls.
Yeah.
Ball shaming me. God.
And we got all the pins too.
I'd rather play with the big balls.
Well, anyway. What did everyone else do this weekend?
No more ball talk.
I'm still just recovering from falling down, so because I'm old and falling does that now.
Yeah.
Falling becomes an event.
We can't just bounce right back up like we used to, huh?
No.
I
Unless you're drunk.
You feel it the next day though.
Yeah.
I get bruises and I don't even know where the hell they come from. I just look and I'm like, oh, okay, that happened.
Pretty
much.
having a wild time, you might remember. Yeah, no comment. Rin's like, I'll just shut up.
I didn't hear what you said because it broke up. Sorry.
I said, if you weren't having such a wild time, maybe you'd remember.
Girl, I ain't got no wild time. Boring the house.
Come on, guys. You guys have to. I mean, everybody else is married. We want to live precariously through you. Come on, Rin. Give us something to work with.
No. No.
No?
No.
She's not a good cooperator.
Yeah, I didn't do anything either. I just did some laundry and mixing and bowling too. But anyway, so let's move on to something more interesting, guys. How did you guys like mixing up this whole cupcake business?
Well, I don't like mixing bakeries. It tastes good. Does it taste like I wanted it to? I guess. Will other people like it? Yes, I think other people will like it. Do I personally like it? Well, it's a cupcake.
I like that too. Like, I guess I'm not a big fan of cherry because I'm like, it's balanced. It tastes good. Like I can see how people will like this, but it's just not for me.
My part was the cake part of it was kind of that's my challenge. The cake part of it is too much cake. I want to drop some custard in there and some cream and make it into a milk of some
I
sort.
was gonna say there's no custard.
I know that's what I want to do to it. I want to
make it into a milkshake
the bakery part and add some cream.
Yeah.
Could have had cream filled.
Yeah. I always get brownie points taken off for having too creamy of a cake.
I struggled with the cake part. It's like the cherry frosting kind of took over.
Yeah.
But
it does, because I mean cherry is such a powerful flavor that it's hard to get it to be subtle and let other flavors come out, you know?
I didn't use cherry, so.
Oh well, there you go. You found a workaround.
I take my cherries off. Forget it.
You just tie the stems with your tongue.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long time since I tried doing that.
It's hilarious. It's awesome.
I think it only works if you're drunk too. Ooh, 55 watts.
Any new flavors in or any new equipment they wanted to talk about?
No, I've just been building and I have a bunch of new addies, so I've been trying them all out. And, I have to say that even though what is this? The dead rabbit, I have to look at it because I've been trying them all out. So I put it in my fruit and I put it in my cream for the week. So this weekend I've been trying the dead rabbit, and I've got this one with 2 foils in it and this one with a single one, and I've only got one side open. And I have to say that is pretty flavorful on both. I still think I prefer the single coil, and I'm not sure if I like it open on both sides or just one side. So, I mean, it's still out for debate. Dead Rabbit's got a lot more air than I'm used to, but the flavor is pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I've got a Hadley and an Entheon clone, so I'm pretty good. Like, I'm not looking for any more RDAs.
I have a shopping problem.
Well, I do too. I just choose to use other areas to shop.
Well, the thing is that sometimes I'm on a shopping for flavors kick, and sometimes I'm on a shopping for equipment kick.
Yeah.
Flavors, trust me, flavors is a lot less expensive than its equipment. You get a lot more for your money than you do when you're having an equipment binge. Yeah. So I'm putting the equipment down. That's it.
No, that doesn't make things easy though. I just dropped a huge order on Bull City that I'm sure. I mean, I got a lot of flavors for my money, but still, I'm like, can't believe I spent that much on flavors after I have all that back there. It's like, oh well.
Yeah, I keep telling myself, like, you're not buying any more new flavors until you use the ones you have. It never works though.
Right? That doesn't work because there's always something that you're making that somebody else said that the flavor you don't have is the perfect one to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got a box of flavors that when I get new in and I want to test them, they go in this like 2 test box. And I'm pretty good every week taking a few out and testing, but I'm telling you, it's filling up faster than I can empty it.
Yeah.
Just tough, man.
I've got a lot that I have not done. And I don't know. I guess I keep using the excuse of, well, I don't want to use my bottles for that. But I have over 300 damn 10 ml bottles that I can use. And I'm like, oh, no. But I guarantee I have more than 300 flavors I haven't tested.
Yeah. Well, and then companies like Wonder Flavors and Flavora keep coming out with new damn flavors. It's like, well, I got to try all those. So I know what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna order the Wonder Flavors, and I heard there are a couple other flavors that came out too. I think it's Jungle Flavors has a couple of flavors out too, or yeah. And so I have to try some of those.
I know, right? It's like, well, you have to get the latest and greatest and know what the hype's about.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you though, with this recipe, I went way old school.
Yeah.
I just used the good old school regular flavors.
As opposed to your normal modern?
Well, I mean, I used Flavora, and I tried really hard to try to use the Flavora cherries. It just was not working. So I had to go back to the drawing board.
The only Flavora cherry that works is the one that they no longer make.
And I have that one, and I almost used it, but then nobody can get it, so why use that?
Why use it? Exactly, right?
I
like,
mean, I have it, and
I'm all for going for like the best possible flavor you can, but there's a point where a line that you want it accessible to someone.
Yeah, I want somebody to be able to mix it if they want to. So I tried to make this. This is not a fairy-fied recipe. My recipe this week is not fairy-fied, so that it's easy for somebody to mix if they are into cherry.
Nice.
We'll see how easy, quote unquote, it is.
We'll be the judge of that.
I only used one new flavor in there, I think. Let me see. Yep, I tried, but they're all old school. Actually, even the Flavor West one is pretty newish. So
I think everything I used this week you can get at Bull City for once.
Nice.
Everything I use definitely can be got at Bull City.
Well, I like to throw weird, obscure brands in there, like the Low C. And you can only get them very, very selective places. So
I use one Wonder flavor. It's the only thing outside of Flavor West, TFA. I don't think I didn't even use TFA. I used Flavor West and FA. That was it.
Cool. Well, since you're already talking about it, let's just jump into your.
Let's do it.
Let's just
So it's not on ATF. It's just on ELR for right now. I'll move it over to ATF later. I'm not sure if he's got it up on the screen yet, but let's see. Probably does. Anyhow, I use for my cake, I use creamy sponge cake from Flavor West, graham cracker from Flavor West. Now I know that's a shit ton of graham cracker at 4%, and that's a lot of sponge cake at 3%. But Flavor West graham cracker actually doesn't taste like shit when it's too much. So 4% actually went well in this for a bakery, and I was trying to bring up my bakery without having to add 1,000 other ingredients into it. So I didn't want to have to add cookie, and I didn't want to add another cake, and I didn't want to have to. So I just pushed that graham cracker as far as I could, and that was 4%. I used buttercream frosting for my frosting. That was my frosting base. And to make my cherry on it, I used marzipan. I used marzipan at 0.75 and wild cherry at 0.50. That's Flavor West. I know that wild cherry is a mild flavor, so it's not too strong. I don't like cherry that much, guys. Marzipan already has cherry notes in it. The wild cherry from Flavor West is just to push the cherry notes in the marzipan up without actually changing the marzipan too much. And then I use meringue to sweeten the recipe up and give it kind of to make my frosting kind of like the one that you would make with powdered sugar, and you would whip it in with some eggs to make it fluffy with the Wonder Flavor creamy buttercream frosting. So it's a combination of a frosting that has the powdered sugar frosting that you make homemade and the buttercream. But the marzipan and the cherry basically are supposed to be more of like, when you make a frosting or when you make a cake and you use your extracts, from the cabinet, and you're just adding it to the cake that cake base just to give it a flavor in there. Well, that's pretty much what I did with those. And that's about it.
Nice.
So like I said, see, it's not fairy-fied. It's old school. It's got, it still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients, but it's still pretty decent compared to what I could have done with this.
Yeah, you could have gone crazy with it. So 7 for you is pretty good.
Yeah, because I could have definitely used cookie. I could have used another cake. I could have used something to fluff it up. I could have used a bunch of little additives. And instead of doing that, I just made my cake and the frosting and then just added my cherry to the frosting. Basically, the pink on the frosting is more of a coloring. and there's just a hint of it because there's a cherry on top, and there's some almond cherry in the actual cake base. That's it.
Mm. Yeah, I try to use marzipan with mine too, just because normally just marzipan alone in something will give you quite a strong cherry note. But for some reason, I just wasn't getting it with my. I don't know if we'll get to that in a bit. I don't know if everything else was kind of drowning it out, but I can see it definitely, boosting that cherry and adding some sweetness. What's the Flavor West Wild Cherry like?
Well, it's a lot like the TFA cherry extract. It's just a little sweeter. It's more in the candy side, and you can use less of it. So it's in that same realm as TFA cherry extract. It's not very medicinal. It's not strong. It's not a cherry that it actually could pretty much get lost in this recipe. As a matter of fact, I'm having a hard time tasting it now that it's steeped.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys, for everyone who's doing this, adding the cherry on their cupcake. When you guys vape cherry, do you get like a little tongue tingling with cherry flavors?
No, I get a bitterness.
I get like tingling on my tongue when I vape cherry, and like,
that might not be a good flavor.
What's that?
That might not be a flavor that you should be doing much of then.
Well, good thing I'm not that huge a fan of cherry then, but yeah, it's just weird. It's like, it's just a feeling that like no other flavor.
I forgot to mention, I did use a little bit of FA custard in here for a lemon note to add to the almond. So it's kind of like having one of those bakeries that you would get at an Italian bake shop where you have a little bit of lemon, a little bit of almond. Those two always go well together, and then a touch of cherry with the marzipan, just boosting it up just a little bit. That was my goal. It's very flaky, cakey kind of. It's like I overdried my cake. Like it does not have enough butter.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting out of it.
The Flavor West graham crackers.
But it's because I pick up a lot of bakery notes out of any bakery. So,
and that that creamy sponge cake from Flavor West, I've been digging that lately as well.
Do you find it to be very bakery-ish, or is it on the creamy side for you?
It's pretty well balanced to me anyway. Like it doesn't really go. I mean, I guess it could be a little bit more creamy than bakery, but I still get some grainy bakery notes out of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this looks great. Thank you so much for sharing.
I hope somebody enjoys it. I mean, I'll be vaping it because I did make a 60 of it, so I have no choice. And it won't be hate vaping. It'll just be not my favorite vaping.
All right. Well, who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Awesome.
Had to find my unmute button. All right. So I did 3 versions. This was the first version. I liked it the best, so that's obviously the one I went with. I kind of found a good white base for a cake for me. I like using the white cake and the fluffy white cake from Wonder Flavors together. So I used equal parts of the Flavor West white cake and the fluffy white cake. The fluffy white cake does have an inherent frosting note, so keep that in mind. I did add just a tiny bit of vanilla cream butter frosting from Vape Train just to bump up the frosting a little bit. But I didn't want to go too much because otherwise it just gets ridiculously sweet. And then I used Inawera cherries, which actually was the first time I've used it because I kept buying the wrong cherry because like they have a cherry and a cherries and I kept getting the cherry. So after the second time buying the same flavor that was wrong, I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm not buying it anymore. And then I used cherry extract from TFA at a fairly low percentage because it is on the weaker side, just to make it more of a bright cherry because the cherries to me kind of tends to go on the more like darker cherry filling side. And I wanted it to be just a smudge brighter. So I added the TFA cherry extract to it. That's it.
I think that that the white cake and the fluffy white cake together I've used that combo before to make like a white cake or a cupcake. And I think they work really well together.
Yeah. Like I said before, I almost wish that Wonder Flavors had just a white cake without the frosting note, because then I could just use it. Because that's the only reason I added the other cake, is to make it more cakey and not so frosting heavy. Because if I were to just bump up the white cake, it would just be so ridiculously sweet. And I don't like my juices to be that sweet.
I'm really surprised. I mean, I guess not surprised, but that you got so much out of just 0.8% cherry extract. Because I find it to be pretty weak. And but then again, you are kind of a super taster, and you use everything really low.
Well, I only used it low here because the cherries was already there. So it's kind of just to make it a little brighter. I definitely have to go not high, but like 2%. Like if I were to use it alone. But here I didn't want to bump it too high, because then you're bordering, the medicinal area. And I could have just went with the regular Innerwear cherries. It was fine. Like I said, it was just a little dark, and I wanted to brighten it up just a smidge. So that's why it's low.
Cool. Awesome. And of course, you used my favorite frosting, the vanilla buttercream frosting. I've been putting that stuff in everything.
It's a really good frosting.
Yeah, if any of you like bakeries and need a good frosting mix, I'm telling you, that's the flavor to get. Most other frostings give me kind of like a cardboard off note, and not this one. This one's just like rich and kind of sweet, and it's good.
Yeah, frosting to me, I get like a bitter note from it. Maybe that's the quote unquote cardboard. Maybe. Like it's kind of just like almost metallic and just kind of off. Like when you eat like a Jawbreaker, like that coloring note or whatever it's in there, it's almost a bitter flavor. That's kind of what I get from a lot of frosting notes. But coloring. Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
But yeah, that buttercream frosting is really good. And their regular vanilla cream, I think it's called, is good as well if you don't want it so heavy on the buttercream note.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Is this, Rin, is this kind of profile like in your wheelhouse? Like, is this something that you would vape anyway?
I'm kind of with you guys where I don't vape a lot of cherry. It'd be actually something my dad might like, because he likes to vape cherry quite a lot. But for me, I'm not a big bakery vapor. Like lately I've been vaping a cigar for like the last month and a half. If I'm not doing a tobacco, I'm usually doing some kind of fruit. So, I mean, maybe every now and then, but it's definitely not like an all-day vape for me personally. It's too sweet. It's too heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, JJ, do you want to go, or would you like me to go first or next?
Sorry, I was in chat.
Okay, I'll go next. So what I did is for the cake part, or the cupcake part, I actually used 5% of Flavor West birthday cake. I've used white cake and fluffy white cake and like the vanilla cupcakes and stuff. And I just use this just because basically I haven't really used it that much. But it makes a really good sweet cupcake, it's more, I think it's sweeter than like just the white cake. Like it's supposed to have like that confetti in it, I guess. So it kind of makes it for me feel more like a cupcake than a regular cake. And then yes, I borrowed Addie's trick for the cherry, and I did 1.5% Innerwear cherries, 0.5% for boysenberry, and 1% forest fruit mix, because to me, cherry, you gotta kind of, they're thin and like sometimes too bright and like plasticky. And the boysenberry and the forest fruit, for one thing, they darken that cherry note. They fill it out, and something happens. It's magic, but they kind of, the rest of the fruits kind of take away or knock off anyway some of the hard edges of that cherry flavor. And then I wanted a frosting, you know, like a really good frosting. So of course I used vanilla buttercream frosting by Victrain at 2%. So thank you, Addie, for sharing that little trick with us.
How much cherry do you have in there?
I just have 1.5% Anywhere cherries.
No, I'm talking about in the overall mix. How cherry does it taste?
Oh, I can't quantify that. I don't know. It's pretty cherry forward.
Yeah, that was my question. Basically, mine is cherry fat. And mine is like adding a little bit of an extract to my cake, where I want to know, does yours taste like a cherry frosting or a cherry cake?
It's it's kind of, it's more like a cherry cake, I would say, because I mean it's pretty well balanced, but it's very like strong on the cherry. So I think I get the cherry throughout. It's not, I wanted just a hint of cherry, like a cherry on top or cherry frosting, but what I got was a cherry cupcake, which it's good, you know, and I'm sure people who like cherries will really like this mix. It's just,
so basically you didn't disappoint. For the ones that wanted a cherry, they're getting cherry.
They're getting
I feel like mine, since mine is like cherry background note, mine would be like, oh, it needs more cherry. But I just didn't want to add more cherry because I just didn't want to ruin the cake. I mean, I don't like cherry, so I didn't go for it. I chickened out, is what I'm saying. You went for it. You went all in.
Yep, sure did. Went all in. And it turned out really good. Like, I think the boysenberry and the forest fruit, like, they don't stand out. I think they just kind of blend into the cherry to make it darker and fuller, which I really like. So this doesn't taste like a mixed berry cupcake, you know, like it tastes.
Yeah, that's what I ended up with some of my testers, was a mixed berry cupcake. So I was like, oh, well, you know, let's eliminate all that. Let's just do marzipan and a little bit of cherry.
Yeah, I just wanted to try out Addie's trick. So that's why I wrote this. What's that?
I haven't tried that yet. I might do that as a standalone cherry to see what it tastes like.
Yeah, otherwise I probably would have done like a little bit of cherry extract with marzipan, because that, I mean, normally any other time, that's kind of my go-to if I want something cherry or just marzipan. But I just heard about, Addie was talking about it last week, or I think, and I'm like, yeah, I want to try that out. So
cool.
It turned out really good. It's tasty.
Cool. And it's cakey, and it's tasty, and it's frosty.
Yep. All the elements that you would want, it's there.
Is it sweet enough to be a cake?
Oh yeah. The thing about birthday cake is it is a little bit sweeter than like the white cakes. Okay. And then of course cherry sweet, and you know, boysenberry's got
have birthday cake, so you just talked me into buying it.
Boysenberry's got that thick kind of sticky sweetness. And yeah, you should give it a go. Birthday cake is pretty good. You don't see it used very much.
No, I went with the sponge cake because it looked darker, and I was like, it's closer to yellow cake.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cool.
Look at Rin's kitty. Say something, Rin, so other people can see her. Say something.
She keeps meowing at me, so
you had to pick her up. She's so regal.
Yeah, she's a lot. Her fur gets everywhere. It's so annoying. I'm gonna shave you.
No, don't shave her. Well, maybe.
Nah. I could not get 5 feet away with a razor to shave her. The way she is with noises and stuff. Plus, I wouldn't do that. I think it's weird.
my dog thought I was going to kill her yesterday when she was playing outside in the mud, and when I saw her playing outside in the mud, I just closed the door and left her outside. She literally stayed outside for
stay outside
4 hours. 4 hours, and finally she comes in and she's banging on the door trying to come inside, and I'm like, "Oh, you can't come in yet." So I went inside and filled up the bathtub with water, and it was almost like she knew, even though she was outside. So when I opened that door, she jetted in the house and went in her pen. And then I went in the pen and I was like, "Come on, Bella, let's go." And she screamed bloody murder, like I was trying to kill her. She was like I was hitting her or something. She's dumb, right? So I went and got a cookie and gave her a cookie. So she came out of the thing. And then I grabbed the 3 more and I did like the Hansel and Gretel thing where I just threw them on the floor ahead of her. And she kept going. The last one I threw in the bathtub and her ass leaned on the bathtub and I shoved her in. And then she won't fall for that crap again.
That's hilarious. My dog loves baths and water of any form.
She likes it too. She just does not. She figured she was in trouble because she knew she was in the mud, and I just looked at her and left her out there. And she was probably just waiting till she was dry to then come and knock on the door, like, "Can I come in now? I'm clean." "Oh, you're not." Anyways, JJ, wait, I got off subject. Sorry, ADD.
That's all
JJ,
right.
you ready now, or are you on chat?
No, I'm ready.
You ready? Let's do it.
So I can't taste anything this week.
Aw.
I have bad allergies going on. I'm like all swollen and everything tastes really weird. I'm not sure how this actually tastes. So if anybody wants to try mixing it, you can let me know how it tastes. What I was going for was something a little bit different because I didn't want to overload it with a ton of ingredients. So I was trying to go simple, but at the same time, something not what you'd expect. So I used Nona's cake because it has that anise and that spice to it that I thought would work well if it were peach. So the cake is a peach flavor with the Nona's cake, and the anise that's in it enhances the peach. You can taste the peach and you can taste the Nona's cake. The Capella's cupcake is kind of in there.
Wait. So you basically said bump cherry. This is not a cherry cake.
Okay, I didn't mean for it to taste like cherry, but I realize now using marzipan as a sweetener also made it actually have a stupid cherry. Because I could taste the cherry. I could taste it in there, but I'd not picking up any bakeries. This is my bakery, my creams, they're gone. I can't taste them, so I have no idea how much is actually in this. The vanilla cupcake from Capella's, I put in there. I know I can't vape it for very long, so I, use it sparingly for myself. But down here, I put 3% in here just to try to get it some more cake and a little more frosting. Extra frosting from Flavora, just to bump that frosting flavor up. And then the strawberry is supposed to be in the frosting.
Cool. And
what I get from it is kind of strawberry, a little bit of powderiness from the frosting, peach, and the anise from the Nona's cake. I taste no bakeries. I taste no creams. So
this is like one of those fancy cupcakes.
Yeah, actually, it looks really good. It looks like, with the peach and the strawberry and the marzipan, it looks interesting. If nothing else, a little bit of anise.
That seemed to be what, because I've used peach in Nona's cake before. I know the Nona's cake actually enhances the peach flavor, so it tastes more like a peach flavored something. But I'm not getting any bakeries.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's peach flavored bakery.
Now, I've heard other people say they pick up lemon from Nona's. Are you one of those people, or do you not pick up any of the lemon in Nona's cake?
The citrus isn't really lemon. It's more like a nondescript citrus, and it's very, very light. It's not.
I don't pick it up at all.
It's in there. It's in with the anise notes. It's there, but it's just kind of in the background. It's not anything that's like jumping out screaming at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I figured as much because I don't pick it up zilch, zero, none, zero. I pick it up in the custard, but not in the Nonas. So I'm always curious whenever somebody uses Nona cake if they taste the lemon notes that I hear other people tasting it.
See, in this, I just figured the citrus would help with the peach and the strawberry.
Yeah.
If anybody actually tastes it, they're not going to really taste citrus in this.
It'll just brighten up
won't.
the other fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted a different cupcake, not like a typical vanilla cupcake or a, buttercream cupcake or something I wanted it to try to taste a little bit differently, but hopefully it does taste differently. I just can't taste it.
I would think with the 1.5% Nona's cake and the 3% vanilla cupcake, I bet that there's a good amount of bakery in there.
Yeah, I bet you just can't taste it. It's your allergies. I mean, I was there last week. I think I'm escaping that major allergy part of it. I think whatever it is that blooms that makes me absolutely sick every year probably bloomed while I was in Florida, and I only picked up the reminiscence of it when I came back. And I think, and let me knock on some wood, that I might have escaped having to need an allergy shot this year.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet, and I can breathe this week.
Awesome.
I never get to the breathing part without it.
You just got to clean JJ out.
I would imagine yours is more the grass spores because mine's starting now and our grass is starting to sprout. So it's like, this is why I'm like this. I can't breathe through my nose. I've been a mouth breather for the last week.
Terrible. I actually got some of those hospital masks and put them on to sleep with. That helped. I'm going to try it again next year, see if that helps.
I should grab some and see if that helps.
Especially sleeping time. Change your air conditioning filters, all that good stuff.
No, we still have heat on. It's not that warm up here yet.
I mean, we go, this is North Carolina, okay? So it starts off in the morning in winter. It goes to spring. By lunchtime, it is summer at 3:00, and then we're back to fall in the evening, and then overnight it's 30 degrees. So, I mean, we have all 4 seasons right now.
Wow.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's show them next week's profile and get out of here, guys. So next week, I don't know, what were we thinking? Like, it looks so like fallish, and it's just not like, I mean, it's like a cranberry sauce.
It looks like cranberry vomit on a plate.
Yeah, like
it's kind of gross.
Like,
and who picked this? This was a fresh pick. Fresh, what are you doing?
Fresh.
That was a troll.
He's not our guest judge this month, is he?
Yeah.
One of us put it in that picked it as one of the pictures, and I don't know who did. I don't think I did. I hope I didn't.
You probably did. I'm not going to go back and look, but I'm going to blame you.
I mean, who knows? Sometimes you guys are like, okay, what is our recipes that who do we want to pick? And I'll just be like, 2, and it's like bingo, A3. And then when it comes up, I'm like, what was that? Oh,
it's like image bingo.
Yeah.
And Folk Art's our guest judge this cycle, so it's not even fresh.
Come on. We all would have submitted our cranberry vomit if it was fresh this month.
Well,
just because.
Maybe we'll see.
Send it to them.
Switch.
I'm only mixing it once. I've already mixed it. And if it doesn't taste good, it's still going out there.
Yeah, this is one I was not looking forward to.
Yeah, this month has not been good for me.
I actually like this month, but not that one.
It's going to be hard for me to choose something, not because they're all good, but because I didn't, love them all. There wasn't one that I really loved. So, all right, well, tune in next week, guys. We're going to cut it short because we're all done and no sense in dragging it out for no reason. So, would someone else like to thank our sponsors? And
Check out Bull City Flavors. You can use coupon code MIXINVIXENS for 6% off. Check out ECX or E-cig Express. And thank you to all the flavors and Flavora. And check out Wayne on DIY or Die. He has a great YouTube channel and a website. Is that everyone?
And he's playing around with different ways to stream. I joined their Twitch stream. I think it was on Friday. It's different, but it worked.
Yeah, what is with the Twitch stream actually having a higher quality than YouTube? Like, it looks so darn good on Twitch, but I'm just like stuck in my ways, and I just have to watch on YouTube. I don't know. But all right, guys. Anyway,
I joined a little while, but I don't know how I like it. But I mean, it is what it is. Fridays is my my day at work where I get sometimes I have to work from 5 to 6, and there's nothing to do. Like from 5 to 6, there's somebody has to be there in case there's something happens, anything catches on fire or something. And so that's what I do I just turn on YouTube and watch it. Although I don't know if I can see Twitch from my work computer. I did it from my phone this week. I'll have to try again next week and see if it allows me to go on there. It allows me to see YouTube, but I don't know if Twitch is allowed.
all righty. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week for the lovely cranberry mix. See what we came up with. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.